everyone, in this, the second part of the three-part video series, I will discuss project portfolio balance. This is important because it will help you to understand how to balance your project portfolios and why it is important. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Think Tank Consulting video blog. My name is Jamal and I'm the founder and principal consultant of Think Tank Consulting. Today we're starting a new video series called What is Project Value, Balance and Strategic Alignment. In the previous segment of this series, we looked at the project value, and I shared with you a scoring matrix developed by a bearings manufacturer that decided to move into other products other than bearings, namely the sealants, lubricants and electronic components. And I showed you the model which enabled them to score their project proposals. In this particular section, I want to share with you a very interesting conversation I had with the CEO of a construction company in the Gulf region. Him and his general manager were attending my seminar on project portfolio management, actually a full day course. And sometime in the middle of the day, when we were about to hit the section dedicated to portfolio balance, we were having a coffee break, and he approached me and he said, listen, I really like your discussion about project value, and I think it's going to be very relevant to what we do at my company. But the balance thing, I kind of flipped a couple of pages forward. I don't think that's going to be relevant to me. And I asked him, why do you think so? And he says, listen, we're like a professional services company, right? Clients come to us and say, build me this. What am I going to tell them? You're not fitting my portfolio balance, go away. And I was like, okay, well, tell me more about your company. He said, well, we're a construction company. We mainly deal with government oil companies in the region, and we built what he described as a shoebox buildings for them, for their needs. And when he said shoebox, he probably meant 4 walls, roof, some stairs inside, floors, etc. But that was in a nutshell what they did. I told him, okay, why don't you stick around for the presentation? Maybe you will see something interesting. And he agreed with me, and I started talking about different types of portfolio balance, mainly focusing on risk versus reward bubble charts, because about roughly 50% of the companies tend to use those. This presentation was taking place in Dubai, and we could see Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, from the window in our conference room. And at one point of time, I see him staring at that building, and suddenly he interrupts me. He goes, listen, I'm close to 70 years old, and I'm about to retire, and I want to pass on this business to my son. And now I'm sitting and listening to you, and I'm thinking, what is going to be on the brochure of the company when I pass it on to my son? Another shoebox building? He goes, I want something like that, and he points at Burj Khalifa. Then he kind of corrects himself and goes, well, not that Burj Khalifa, maybe something smaller, but something as attractive as Burj Khalifa. Maybe we should start thinking about that. And his general manager kind of pokes him with an elbow and goes, listen, forget about Burj Khalifa. Right now, our margin on our projects is 5%, because that business has been commoditized. If we move into HVAC, we can raise our margin to 25-30%. If we get into energy management, how to save energy in different buildings, we can charge anywhere between 50 and 100% margin. Why don't we do that? And right there in the middle of the classroom, the CEO of a very large construction company goes, well, you know what, next year, rather than spending all 100% of our budget on construction projects that we did, the shoebox construction projects, we're going to move into HVAC systems and maybe start some research in energy management. Let me demonstrate what that meant. At the time of our conversation, all of his projects were located here. Low risk, low reward. Return on investment is low. He wanted to have some of his projects actually in this quadrant. Risk is low and return on investment is high, and what company doesn't want that? However, they did realize that initially, because they don't have much in-house knowledge, the projects that they will start, the HVAC projects and maybe energy management projects, will be somewhere over here. Return on investment will be high, but the risk will be high. Why? Again, no in-house knowledge, no understanding on how to do that. But eventually, 2 or 3 years later, if they're diligent and they approach it properly, these two bubbles, i.e. these two projects, will rise up to the low risk and high return on investment. So this is just one example of how portfolio balance might be important to you and how it might affect the business of your company. In the next segment of this series, we will talk about some bad and hopefully some good examples of strategic alignment of the projects. So this was the second episode of what is project value, project balance, and project alignment. Please share and like this video, leave a comment, visit our blog on thinktankconsulting.ca, connect with me on LinkedIn. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Definitely I encourage you to subscribe to our RSS feed and our YouTube video channel. You can find all the relevant links below in the video description. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time for another edition of Think Tank Consulting video blog.